All right. Do you think I say all right too much? All right. I'll work on that. All right? Welcome to Jenn's Writing World. If you have a story to tell, you are in the right place. Let's do it 10 minutes at a time. All right. You may have noticed that I use all right a lot as a verbal pause. I've noticed it a lot in my editing, and I try to remove it as often as possible. But it doesn't always work that way if I'm going to have to cut out something else too, so I leave it in. Verbal pauses is something we all do in real life. If you've ever listened to an interview on a podcast or a radio show or even TV, and they say, "That's an excellent question," they don't really mean it. That's a verbal pause as they gather their thoughts. It is a common thing for people to do when speaking. However, you don't want to do it in your dialogue in your story, because when you write dialogue in your story, you're not really copying what we say in real life. You should be leaving out all of the all rights and uh-huhs and you knows and "that's an excellent question," and just really say what the characters mean to say. The reader will fill in all the rest. If you put it in yourself, one, your book is going to be a lot longer than it needs to be, and two, the reader is going to skim over it because we don't really hear it in real life. We all say it, but because we all say it, the brain kind of ignores it. It's harder to ignore it on the page. Now, there is an exception to this. If all right is a verbal tick that you give your character so that they stand out from other characters, well, then that's perfectly fine. Every time they speak, toss in an all right, and eventually you won't have to use their name or anything else. We'll know who they're talking about. I have a great example of this in a book probably nobody's read but me. When I was a kid, Voyagers was my favorite TV show, only lasted one season, and I had the book, got it from a Scholastic book fair back in the day, and I kept it all these years. But as I've told everybody, we're moving, and so I've been clearing out books, and I decided that it was time to pass this book on. However, I decided to read it one more time just to see if it was as good as I remembered. It is really good, but it is also, it's ready to move on. However, there was a great example of a verbal tick, and Phineas Bogg, who is the Voyager in the story, he says "bat's breath" all the time throughout the whole book. Matter of fact, he falls on someone. You don't know who it is that's doing the falling. You think it might be a bad guy, and then you hear "bat's breath," and you know who it is. It's a great example of a verbal tick. However, if he had said "bat's breath" and "rodent rants" and "ferret farts" instead of just "bat's breath," it would not have worked as well. So don't give everybody in your book a verbal tick, or else it will get hard to read. And also, if they have one, make it one distinctive tick. Otherwise, leave the verbal pauses for reality and take them out of your story. Your reader will thank you, even if they don't know that's what you've done. Let's get writing. When I used to go to in-person NaNoWriMo write-ins, meaning pre-COVID, my favorite place was to sit on the floor and write. So we're going to try that out here. I'm in my office, sitting in the corner. The one disadvantage is the cats are also on the floor, so I may have lots of distractions, but we will see. I have the timer right here. It is set for 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get this done. 3, 2, 1, start. don't want to stop. This is too exciting. I hope you had a great 10-minute writing session. I almost said all right just before I said that, but I am going to try and say less of it, or if I have to say it, because as I said, we say it in real life, I'm going to make a pause so that it's easier for me to edit it out. That way, you don't have to hear it all the time. All right? No, that was a joke. If you've liked our 10-minute writing sessions and would like more of them, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell. A like is always appreciated, and so is having you share it with your writing friends so that we can all come together and learn a little bit and write a little bit. Today's quote is by Donald Maass. He is one of the top literary agents in the country. A long time ago, I met him at a writing conference, pitched him the story that I was working on at the time. He also has a few writing books out that are remarkable. And this is what he said. After you've strengthened the foundation of your story, you face the hard work of building the middle. Most sag, not enough happens. The central conflict is not pushed terribly far. The main problem doesn't become extreme. For virtually all novelists, the challenge is to push farther, go deeper, and get mean and nasty. Wow. Really good advice, possibly hard to hear. I'm writing for 7 and 9-year-olds. I don't know how mean and nasty I want to get, but I do agree that I need to push my plot harder. So long from Jenn's Writing World. Until we meet again, write.